welcome to this week's video. So we will be looking at my weekly training again. You'll be joining me for a session, and then I thought a good idea would be actually just to look at some YouTube channels that I follow to help you along your marathon training. Maybe some of them you know about. So yeah, I thought we could just look at some of those channels. So let's get going. So firstly, we're looking at last week's training. Here's my Strava open again. So just as an overview, last week I did 102 kilometers total volume. As per usual, I did 4 easy runs. And then we had one session on Tuesday, which was in last week's video. We had one hilly session on Thursday, and then we had the long run on the weekend. So those were the 4 easy runs, and then we had the session which I covered in last week's video, 3Ks warm up. Then I did 6 times of 1K on, 600 meters float, 400 meters on, and then a 60-second standing walking recovery between each of those 6 reps. And the paces, so if we just look at the breakdown of that session, if we look at the pace analysis, the 1Ks I pretty much ran all of them at 350 something average, so let's just say around 355 if we average this out. The floats I ran pretty much all of them at around 440ish if we had to average it out, and then the 400 meters I ran all of them at around 3 minutes 40. It was a really good session, but as you saw in last week's video, I did suffer a little bit. These 400s, it's crazy how 10 seconds per K takes it out of you so much. But yeah, felt very good about this session. Then on Thursday, which was the hilly run, we did 20K. So this is where on Thursdays I do a medium long run, not very fast, but hilly, that's the idea. So I did 357 meters of elevation over the 20Ks, and I was very happy with my heart rate and everything. I was very happy that after each of the hills my heart rate pretty much came back down to the low 140s, 130s. So the recovery is there. And yeah, as you saw, it was quite a decent chunk of elevation. And then on Saturday I did a 28 kilometer long run. I ran that with the Pro 4s that I bought last week. Very nice, very comfortable, so I had no issues with the upper as I did with the Pro 3s in the past year. But I don't know if it's a Pro 4 thing or if it's just the fact that I haven't done a long run with a carbon plated / carbon rodded shoe in a while. The Sunday, my left soleus, so that's a calf muscle. The gastrocnemius is the big bulky calf muscle. It's pretty much the top of the calf, the chunky thing that all the people in the gym want to develop. And then there's a longer calf muscle that runs underneath it but starts at the Achilles pretty much. And that soleus muscle is the muscle that actually takes the most amount of strain as long distance runners. So after that Saturday long run with those carbon shoes, the Sunday my left calf soleus was so extremely tight and stiff, and this carried on to this week. I was a bit concerned on Tuesday, but everything's fine now. I've run today and it felt perfectly fine. I do not know if that was because it's been a while since I've done a long run in carbon shoes, or if it is the slight change in geometry of the Pro 4s. Because as I understand it, the rocker has been moved back a little bit in the Pro 4s. So that means it gives you a more exaggerated toe off. And I'm wondering if that just put a bit more stress on my soleus, or as I said, if it was just the fact that I haven't done a long run in carbon shoes for a while. Other than that, the long run went really well. If we look at the pace analysis, I did a 5K warm up and then I did 16 Ks at around 4 minutes 30, and then I did 4 Ks at around 4:12 average pace, and then 3 Ks cool down. I was very happy with this run. The shoes felt great and I just felt much better than the previous week. My heart rate was very much under control, except these Ks here had spiked a little bit. The reason for that was because 14 and 15 there was a decent chunk of elevation. That's just how it is with me, with my weight. If as soon as there's a slight incline, my heart rate just spikes. Yeah, so that was last week's training. If we look at my total trainings, I'm currently busy with week 6, so last week was week 5 obviously, which means we're getting there. I'm almost done with my first cycle, so I'm busy with the deload. Then next week is the big run, and then we go into the change up in cycles, and then we do that one more time after that, and then it's the taper phase. Training is going well. Now, I must say, I have set many goals. So a few videos ago I spoke about the goals that I set for the year, so the 5k goal, the 10k goal, all these goals that I set, and I must say the sub 3 goal that I've set for myself, it's the first time where I feel I might not make it, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So I am feeling the pressure of putting this 3-hour goal on myself, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, I have a version of this program available, so maybe some of you have been following that. Hope your training is going well. I think it's time for this week's running part of the video. As you can see, it was a bit of a letdown, but it's okay, this happens. Let's go.
What's up? It's Tuesday, which is session day, but I have a deload week, so today I'll just be doing a 4Ks warm-up progression run of 8Ks and then cool down. During the progression, I will be starting at around 440 per K and increasing the pace every 2Ks. Probably 440 for 2Ks, 425 for 2Ks, 410-ish for 2Ks, and then 2Ks on feel. Just go faster. That's that. I must say, after Saturday's long run, my left soleus, so that's a calf muscle, has been super tight and stiff and painful. 4Ks. Calf feels okay. But yeah, if during the progression it flares up, I'm definitely gonna call it short. It's a deload week, I don't need to do anything stupid. For the progression, there's no rest between these 2Ks. It's 8Ks of progressing. So it's pretty much a long tempo run, but not crazy paces, so shouldn't be too rough. Some static stretching on my calf today. Usually static stretching before a run is not recommended, but yeah, this is different. Yeah, so I'll do a few drills now, just not a lot, nothing crazy, and then we'll go. Look, bunch of guinea fowls. Yeah, so in South Africa, obviously we have lions and stuff all over the streets, you know. I do 3 weeks tough or 3 weeks hard and then 1 week deload, so it works in a 4-week cycle, and the deload is usually about 30 Ks less than the other weeks, so bouncing between 60 on the deloads and then 90 to 100 Ks on the other week. The week after the deload week I do a very big week with a very tough long run. So next week will be a 30, I think it's a 30 or 32k long run, which is quite hard with quite a lot of up Ks. So that's why I'm doing the deload now. Okay, here we go. First K, 4:39. Coming up to the second K. Then we bump it up to the 4:20, 4:39. Woo. Let's go. 4:28. Calf is starting to bother me a bit. Anyways, I've decided to call that after 4Ks on. Yeah, it's not worth it with my calf. It's not sore, I'm not struggling. Well, let me rephrase. It's not an injury and I'm not struggling. But from my experience, when I have very tight soleus muscles, that's when I start getting Achilles issues. So it's a deload week, don't need to stress about it, rather just chill now and then next week go hard. So yeah, that's that. But sometimes these things happen, so I'll just jog it out a bit, probably up to like 10Ks, and then yeah, stretch and call it a day. And to learn from today's video is, even if you have a program, even if you have sessions in there, if something in your body doesn't feel right, it's not worth it. You're going to end up losing a week of training instead of just cutting that workout short. So it is what it is. Still got a lot of time.
For this week's discussion in the video, I thought a cool idea is actually just pointing you to YouTube channels that I watch, YouTube channels that I take inspiration from. It makes sense to give this info to you earlier in this training block, so maybe you can get some valuable information from these channels. As I've mentioned in many of my videos, I'm not a professional YouTube video maker person. I'm just vlogging my experience. So there are people out there who do this in some cases full time and actually have much better videos than mine. So it makes sense that you go and watch theirs and don't only watch my little vlogs. For this section, I have tried to make 4 categories: training advice videos, entertainment motivational videos, shoe reviews, and then I thought another category would be a beginner friendly category. Just a disclaimer, a lot of these channels could fit into almost all of the categories, but I have chosen to put certain channels into a category because that's the reason I watch that specific channel. So I'll start with a training advice category. So the first channel is the FOD Runner. I watch his videos mostly for training advice. He often experiments with different training methods. He really goes into detail into what his sessions look like and what his marathon training looks like. So the next channel in the training advice category would be this guy called Göran Windblad. The reason I like his channel is because often the things he speaks of, he backs it using scientific research. So he looks at studies, or he himself, as far as I remember, is a physio. Yes, he is a physio, so he's done the research. In general, his content's just very good for training. Next up in the training advice category would be this guy, Niklas Rosner, and very much like Göran, the guy I just spoke about, he uses a very scientific approach. He often looks at the studies and the research, which I really appreciate. So there's some great content out there, and this is one of them. I really enjoy this channel. Then the last channel in the training advice category would be this one, Nutrition Triathlon. And as the name would suggest, my previous marathon pretty much took all of his nutritional advice on board and applied that to my training. He's got the science behind it. With a marathon, you can't be neglecting the nutrition. I think that is one thing that sets it apart from other distances. In a marathon, if you get your nutrition wrong, it can pretty much make or break your marathon. So this is the channel that I use to get a lot of my nutritional advice. So the next category is the entertainment/motivation category. So again, these channels I could just as easily have put into the training advice category, but the reason I watch these is actually more for motivation and entertainment purposes, not so much for their training advice. In many cases, it's because their training advice would not be realistic for me personally, because these guys and gal are much better runners than me. So their training is unrealistic for someone like me. Speaking of unrealistic training, a channel that has blown up and is probably my favorite, and I think for many people a favorite currently, is this channel called Ran to Japan. Yeah, his videos are so entertaining. I really love watching them. He releases them pretty much every Sunday, and it's like a tradition for me to eat a bowl of cereal and just watch his videos. And the reason it's unrealistic to take training advice from him is because he does 250 to 300 kilometer weeks. I physically can't do that. So yeah, it's really entertaining stuff. I would highly recommend his channel just for a bit of a little bit of a kick in the behind to get training and to get going and to stop making excuses. It's an awesome channel. It's currently my favorite YouTube channel that I'm watching, that I'm following. Next up in the entertainment motivational category is Crown My Run. This is just pure entertainment. It's these three brothers who pretty much GoPro races and park runs and such, and then this guy here pretty much narrates the runs, and yeah, it's just very funny. His narrating skills are awesome. I really like this channel a lot, so this is just straight up entertainment. Next we have Floberg Runs. Yeah, so if we're going to talk about video quality and making videos look professional and amazing and telling a story in videos, this is probably the channel. He has today, I think, or yesterday, he released this video starting with a new series called No Time. And it is go watch this video. I would recommend it. Then you'll just see there are levels to this YouTube content thing. It's just such an amazing storyteller. Love his content. Next up is Cole Running. Again, very good videos, puts in a lot of effort, but more so he's a very talented runner. And yeah, the reason this one made my list is mainly because of this video over here, which is his London Marathon race that he ran. If I think I can't run the sub 3, if some doubts start creeping in, I just come and watch this video again. Yeah, it's just a very motivational, very inspiring video, and it makes me believe that if I put in the effort that I will make the sub 3. I will achieve it. So Cole Running. I wonder if that was a play on words with Cool Runnings. I mean, I know it's his name, but nah, I doubt it. Is an idea though. For those of you who haven't figured it out, my channel name is a play on words. Runs down in Africa, rains down in Africa. You guys know the Toto song? No? Okay. Next up we have Mr. Truett Haynes. Yeah, so this guy is just a psycho. So he's busy with this video series of, as you can see, it's sub 2:30 or die trying. This guy's just a beast. He runs pretty much all his marathons in jeans. So he runs topless and then with jeans. And he runs like 330 somethings. 230 somethings. So that's wild. His videos are very motivational. Very much like Cole running. If you feel like not training and you think you're too tired, just watch some of this content and you'll quickly put on your shoes to go out running. Next up we have Philly Bowden. So very talented runner. Run a 2:25 marathon, which is like one of the top UK marathon times ever. She's very talented, but her videos are very entertaining. It's got some nice memes in there every now and then. So I really enjoy her videos. Again, she could probably fit into all of these categories, but I watch her mainly for entertainment value. And then lastly, in the entertainment / motivation is Mr. Nick Bester. He's actually a South African that moved to the UK. He's a coach. He's the founder of Best Athletics, which is a running club in the UK. So him as well. I could put him in training advice, but I watch him mainly for the entertainment. And it's just nice seeing another South African guy killing it overseas and doing so well. So Nick Bester, very talented runner. He's run a sub 2:20 marathon, so that's just insane. Next up we have the shoe review section. So I didn't put too many channels in here, just simply because shoe reviews are shoe reviews. At the end of the day, they are subjective to an extent. There are shoes that people give horrible ratings, which I love, and there are shoes that people rave about, which I hate on my feet. So at the end of the day, it's just a shoe review. Very popular one is Kofuzi. Does a great job of shoe reviews, especially in my earlier days of running. There were cases where I was literally in the shop. I remember standing in the Nike factory store, and then I'd see a shoe for a decent deal and I'd just pull up a Kofuzi review while standing in the store just to check if the shoe is okay. Very well made, very great videography. So all around very great content, but mostly for the shoe reviews. And then another channel is called Believe in the Run. I think most people know this channel as well. Also for shoe reviews. I like the fact that they often ask multiple people. So they have a few people in their team, and it's not always only one person giving an opinion, which is a cool thing to see, because that's how it is in real life as well. There's some shoes people love and some shoes people don't like at all. So it's really cool. And the last category is just, I thought, beginner friendly type channels. Most of these channels are beginner friendly, but there are some channels that are just catered more so for beginners, I think, because it covers from the 5K all the way to the marathon and even ultra. So the first one is Mr. Ben Parks. One of the recent videos for us South Africans is actually that he came and ran the Comrades Marathon. So I think his content's very beginner friendly. You can find anything for pretty much all levels in his channel. So very cool. And then last channel, I have to give a shout out to them because it's a South African channel. I'm sure if you're watching my videos, you are probably familiar with their content because you are probably training for Cape Town as well. So Coach Perry, I think their claim to fame was more so in the preparation for the Comrades Marathon, but nowadays they give videos for everything, so I have to give them a shout out. For Cape Town Marathon, they're doing this weekly podcast or live stream, which is cool, where they have questions that they answer and all of these things. So really cool. So those are some YouTube channels I would recommend. Now there are obviously a ton of channels that I still watch that I haven't put in this video. simply because I don't want this video to be 50 minutes long. But yeah, I just figured these would be like the main ones that I would recommend to specific people for those specific categories. Like I said, don't watch my silly videos. My content's not that great compared to these people. They've put in years of work into their content. They've got answers to probably any question you have. So go follow them, go watch their content. Yeah, it's great stuff. Maybe you're training for Cape Town and you feel like you aren't ready. Well, we still have some time, so don't stress about it. Yeah, so until next week, enjoy your training. Hope things are going well, and yeah, till then, cheers.